Discover the heartwarming truth, how I transformed betrayal into incredible strength after 3 years. Mia Parker's heart raced as the sun set behind the cozy streets of Maplewood, casting a golden hue over the small-town diner where she worked. She gripped the edges of the order pad tightly, her hands trembling with the weight of betrayal. The legendary pie recipe, passed down from her beloved grandmother, felt like a sacred relic. That recipe was her family's lifeline, a symbol of love, warmth, and the cherished time spent in the kitchen, the aroma of pie filling the air. But now, Amanda, her best friend since childhood, had taken that recipe and sold it to a rival bakery, leaving a chasm of mistrust where their friendship once thrived. The chatter of the diner was a sharp contrast to the storm inside her. Plates clattered, laughter echoed, but Mia felt alone. She could already envision Jacob, her 9-year-old son, waiting for her at home, his smile a bittersweet reminder of what she had lost. Would she be able to face him? Every single bill screaming for attention felt like a reminder of her failure. Her heart ached as she thought about Jacob's innocent eyes, filled with love yet unaware of the storm looming over them. It was during those brewing clouds of despair that something inside flickered to life. Memories of her grandmother enveloped her. The way she stirred the mixture, humming softly, her laughter spilling over like the pie filling. That warmth, that passion for baking, wasn't it time to reignite it? Fueled by nostalgia and desperate for change, Mia decided to enter the annual Maplewood Pie Festival, an event her grandmother once dominated. Late nights in the kitchen filled with laughter and flour began to replace her tears. She drew from her grandmother's secret ingredient and her own creativity, creating pies infused with love and joy. With each pie she shared, the townspeople began to rally around her, rekindling the community spirit that was dimmed by the betrayal. Mia felt a renewed sense of purpose. Children giggled as they helped her roll out dough, and friends came by to offer their support. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. But with rising acclaim came tension. Amanda's popularity at Mountain View Suites seemed to grow in tandem with Mia's, turning their friendship into a tense rivalry. On the eve of the festival, Mia sat with her father at their kitchen table. His weathered hands grasped her own, sharing stories of resilience from his past that lay heavily on his heart. Mia felt her resolve solidify, but just when she thought she was on the right track, an unexpected invitation dropped into her lap, a request to meet with Amanda. A wave of emotions flooded her: anger, betrayal, confusion. Could she allow herself to forgive? As Mia prepared for that meeting, she felt the weight of Maplewood's eyes on her, holding her breath in anticipation. Would she reclaim not just her recipe, but also a renewed understanding of trust and healing? The answers hung tantalizingly in the air, waiting for her to take a step into the unknown. Mia approached the small cafe where she had agreed to meet Amanda, her heart pounding like a drum. The familiar brick exterior contrasted sharply with the turmoil churning inside her. She pushed the door open, the soft jingle greeting her like an old friend. But today, there would be no warm embrace. Today was about confrontation. As she scanned the room, her eyes landed on Amanda. She sat at a corner table, twisting a napkin in her fingers. The sight made Mia's throat tighten. Memories flooded in: best friends baking pies, sharing secrets, dreaming of the future. Yet here they were, on opposite sides of a painful rift. Mia took a deep breath to steady herself and walked over. "Hey," she said softly, sliding into the seat across from Amanda. "Hey," Amanda replied, her voice barely above a whisper. The tension between them felt thick enough to slice with a knife, yet their eyes locked in a moment of silent acknowledgement. This was nothing like their past. "I got your invitation," Mia started, searching for the right words. "I wanted to talk about everything." There was a flicker of pain in Amanda's eyes. I didn't think I could face you. Her voice cracked, leaving an uncomfortable silence hanging between them. Mia wanted to scream. But she also wanted to understand. Why, Amanda? Why would you do this? Amanda's gaze dropped to the table. I was scared, okay? Your pies, they were always better. I felt like I couldn't compete. Mia blinked, as the betrayal collided with a hint of empathy. You could have just talked to me. We could have worked together, like we used to. I know, Amanda whispered, tears pooling in her eyes. I just let jealousy take over. I didn't mean for it to get this far. The weight of betrayal dulled for a moment, replaced by the flicker of their shared history. You were my best friend, Mia said, her voice trembling. You of all people knew how much that recipe meant to me. I thought I could create something to prove I'm not just your shadow. I had no idea it would hurt you so much. Their words lingered, each revelation a delicate thread weaving between the jagged shards of their friendship. Mia couldn't ignore the ache in her heart, a mixture of hurt and understanding. I can't say I'll ever trust you the same way again, Mia said, looking Amanda straight in the eye. But maybe we can find a way to move forward together. A slow nod emerged from Amanda, her eyes filling with tears. I'd like that if you're willing. Mia felt a flutter of hope. It was small, but there. Let us start small. Maybe a pie. Amanda laughed softly, the sound a balm to their fractured bond. I'd love that. I still remember how to make your grandmother's recipe. Mia smiled, imagining the warmth of their past flooding back in that kitchen. It wouldn't be easy, but they could try. A sharp voice broke through her thoughts as the cafe door opened, revealing Jacob. His excitement lit up the dim cafe as he bounded toward her. Mom! Can we try the pies before the festival? I don't want to wait. Mia's heart swelled. Here, amidst the chaos of her adult life, was her greatest joy. She looked at Amanda, the flicker of hope growing brighter. I'll show you some tricks, Mia said, feeling a renewed bond forming. But Amanda glanced away, her expression growing serious. Mia, there is something else I need to tell you, something about Mountain View Sweets. It involves you and Jacob. Mia's stomach dropped at the gravity in Amanda's voice. What could be more pressing than their fragile reconciliation? As Mia leaned closer, the weight of uncertainty settled heavily in the air. What revelation was about to unfold, and how would it change everything she'd begun to rebuild? The air hung thick with anticipation as Amanda's eyes shimmered under the cafe's soft lights. Mia could feel every heartbeat echoing in her ears, the comforting buzz of chatter around them fading into a distant murmur. She leaned even closer, her breath slightly hitching. What do you mean, it involves Jacob? Amanda's fingers trembled slightly, and Mia noted how they hovered over the napkin, wrinkling it further. I didn't want to bring this up until I was sure, she began, her voice low as if afraid of being overheard. But there is something happening with the bakery, something that could affect both of you in ways you don't realize. Mia's mind raced. The bakery was the heart of their town, a place filled with laughter, love, and the aroma of freshly baked goods. What is going on? She pressed, her heart pounding. It's complicated. I've been working on some new recipes for the festival, and I accidentally discovered something a little shocking. Amanda shifted in her seat, clearly trying to find the best way to deliver the news. Just tell me, Amanda, Mia urged, frustration bubbling beneath her calm. Amanda finally met her gaze, and the resolve in her features seemed to harden. I found out that someone is planning to take over Mountain View Sweets. Someone connected to you and Jacob. Who? The question escaped Mia's lips, her stomach sinking further. I can't say for certain, but I suspect it might be connected to how your grandmother left the business. I think they want to erase everything that makes that bakery special, including its connection to both of you. Disbelief coursed through Mia, mixing with a sharp surge of protective fury. How can you be sure? I overheard some conversations while prepping for the festival, Amanda admitted, her eyes widening with a mixture of shame and urgency. They want to change the brand, make it more commercial. And they think they can just squeeze out the heart of what makes it special. Mia's mind wandered back to the happiest moments of her childhood spent within the bright walls of that bakery, her grandmother's laughter and warmth wrapping around her like a cozy blanket. The thought of someone taking that away made her blood boil. But that's our history. Our family. Amanda nodded, her voice trembling slightly. That's why I needed to tell you. We need to act now, before they can do anything more. We can't let them tear apart everything you grew up with. And I promise, I didn't know. I would have warned you sooner. Seeing the genuine fear in Amanda's eyes, Mia felt a simmering mixture of anger and understanding rise within her. They had both stumbled through the wreckage of their friendship, but there was still a part of her that wanted to trust again. So what do we do? It's time to unite, Amanda said, determination sparking in her voice. You and me together, like old times. We can fight for Mountain View Sweets. As Mia contemplated their fragile alliance, the sound of Jacob's laughter broke through the tension. He had wandered over to the dessert counter, captivated by the colorful display of pastries. The innocent joy on his face pierced through the chaos, grounding Mia amidst the storm of revelations. Mia glanced at Amanda, a sense of urgency swirling in her gut. They had a chance to set things right, but could she count on Amanda not to falter again? There was fear lodged deep in her chest, but also a spark of hope, a chance to reclaim something precious. Let us do it, Mia said firmly, her voice brimming with reluctant courage. Let us fight for our bakery. As Amanda's face brightened, a mixture of disbelief and gratitude washed over her, Mia couldn't shake the looming uncertainty. They were stepping into a battle neither of them had prepared for. But with a single nod, they sealed their commitment to each other and the legacy they cherished. Yet, as Mia watched Jacob's carefree joy, she couldn't help but wonder, what other secrets and betrayals lay hidden beneath the surface, waiting to erupt. Was their new alliance strong enough to face what was truly coming? Mia took a deep breath, trying to steady the swirling emotions within her. The cafe, with its floral wallpaper and the scent of baked goods drifting through the air, had always felt like a second home. But today, it felt different. The laughter, the light, all seemed to mock her uncertainty. Jacob approached their table, a cupcake in hand, his eyes sparkling as if he held the world in his palm. Look what I found. Is it okay if I have this? His voice was cheerful, innocent. Mia's heart softened at the sight of him, the sweet way he beamed with joy, unaware of the storm brewing just under the surface. Of course, buddy, she replied, forcing a smile. You can have it, but save some for later. As he dug into the treat, crumbs flying, Mia turned back to Amanda. We need information, something concrete, she said, her fingers tapping nervously on the polished table. We have to figure out who is behind this before it spirals out of control. Amanda's brow furrowed, her gaze distant. I'll do everything I can. Maybe someone at the festival knows something. I'll join you, Mia insisted, pulling out her phone. We need to know if Jacob is safe. I can't let anything happen to the bakery, or to him. The mention of Jacob's safety ignited a fire within her. Their friendship might be complicated, but the thought of what Mountain View Sweets meant to Jacob, to the townsfolk, and to her grandmother left no room for hesitation. They couldn't afford any slip-ups. Right, Amanda said, her face resolute. Let us make that our mission. But we need to be careful. Whoever is behind this is already pulling strings we haven't even seen yet. With a nod, Mia stood up from the table, her heart racing, not just from fear but also from the adrenaline of purpose. Let us go. Together. As they left the cafe, the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows over the streets. It felt like the world was holding its breath, unaware of the battle brewing in the small corner of the town. Mia tried to keep the unease from her thoughts, but it clung to her like a shadow. Each step felt like a march into a storm. Thoughts of betrayal and lost trust gnawed at her, memories of laughter twisted with anxiety. They arrived at the festival grounds, the vibrant colors and joyful sounds of children squealing filled the air. Mia felt a pang of nostalgia. Her grandmother had loved this festival. As they moved through the crowd, Amanda spotted someone. That's Greg, the bakery's accountant. Maybe he knows what's going on. Mia followed Amanda over to Greg, whose back was turned. "Greg!" Amanda called, her voice piercing through the laughter, drawing his attention. He turned, confusion clouding his eyes. "Hey, Amanda." "Mia." "What a surprise. Can we talk?" Mia said firmly, her resolve hardening. "It's important." The light in his eyes dimmed slightly. Sure. Let's head over to the side." Mia felt a knot forming in her stomach as they stepped out of the joyful chaos of the festival, heading towards a more secluded area. She could sense a tension in the air. Greg looked nervous, like he was carrying a weight he wanted to drop. Once they were away from the crowd, Amanda wasted no time. "We heard some news about the bakery. Can you tell us if there's any truth to it?" Greg hesitated, glancing around as if the very walls had ears. I can't talk about it here." Mia's heart raced. This was at the moment that could change everything. "Please, Greg. We need to know what's happening. Who's behind this?" He took a deep breath, eyes darting between them. "Okay. But you have to promise you'll be careful." Mia's mind raced. What was he going to reveal? What danger were they stepping into? "Just tell us." Amanda urged, gripping her arm. They needed answers, and fear crackled in the silence between them. And then came the words, heavy and loaded. "It's someone you know, someone you both trusted." As the weight of his statement hung in the air, Mia felt reality shift beneath her feet. Who could it be? Would their confidence in each other hold? Their next steps could change everything. What if this betrayal ran deeper than they ever imagined? Mia's breath hitched as Greg's words swirled around her. Someone they knew. The small town felt suddenly enormous, filled with potential danger lurking in every corner. She clenched her fists, the blood rushing in her ears, drowning out the joyous laughter of the festival behind them. "Who?" she demanded, her voice barely above a whisper. She needed to know. She had to. Greg's face twisted in uncertainty. "I can't just name names, not here. It's too risky." Amanda stepped forward, leaning in, making her presence felt. "We're not going to back down, Greg. This is about Jacob's safety and the bakery. We deserve to know." Mia felt the weight of her words resonate within. They weren't just fighting for a business, they were fighting for their community, for Jacob, and for everything her grandmother had built. "All right," Greg said reluctantly, glancing once more towards the bustling crowd before lowering his voice. "There's a rumor, it's vague, but it mentions someone associated with the bakery and it isn't just a competitor trying to take over." Mia's mind raced. She had thought of everyone who had come through Mountain View Suites, friends, family, and even those from the town council. Each face flashed before her eyes. Just a rival? Who would go this far? No, it's more serious than that. A partnership gone wrong, money mismanaged. There are whispers of illegal activity. Greg paused, letting the weight of his words settle. People are scared. Some are talking about selling their shares. Mia felt her stomach drop. This was bigger than she had anticipated. If that's true, we have to find out who's behind it before it's too late. Greg nodded, glancing nervously over his shoulder. I'll try to dig up more information. But you've got to promise me stay away from the fire. Don't get involved directly. It's not safe. How can we do that? Amanda exclaimed, frustration seeping into her words. We're already involved. You can't just ask us to sit back and watch this happen. Mia placed a hand on Amanda's arm, grounding her. We can't rush in blind. We need a plan. If we can gather enough evidence. Her voice trailed off, uncertainty creeping in. Suddenly, the vibrant festival lights felt dim, shadows pooling in corners where laughter once echoed. We need to trust each other, right? She said, hoping to instill a sense of solidarity rather than fear. Greg nodded slowly. I have a friend at the bank. I can talk to him discreetly. But you both must promise not to act without knowing more. If this is as serious as it sounds, someone could get hurt. We'll be careful, Amanda said finally, her voice softer now. We just need answers. The more we know, the better we can protect what matters. Mia's heart pulsed with a mix of fear and determination. The feeling of betrayal hovered like a thick fog, emerging stronger with each revelation. Were they really prepared to unearth something so sinister? The sound of children laughing broke through her thoughts, a reminder of the innocence they were fighting to protect. For Jacob, Mia breathed, her voice steady now. They had to try. As they turned back toward the festival, a sense of urgency filled the air. The lively atmosphere contrasted sharply with the storm brewing in their hearts. Before they merged back into the celebration, Mia glanced at Greg. If you hear anything, let us know immediately. We want to let this fester. With a nod, he turned and edged back toward the crowd, leaving Mia and Amanda standing there, uncertainty pooling between them. What if we can't trust everyone? Amanda muttered quietly, her eyes scanning the faces around them. Mia swallowed hard, unwilling to give voice to her fears. Then we'll find out who we can trust. We have to. For everyone. As they stepped back into the festival, Mia felt a shiver run down her spine. The comforting smell of cinnamon and sugar surrounded them, but now it felt tainted, reminding her of everything at stake. Something shifted in the air, a portent of truths yet to be uncovered. Lauren, their mutual acquaintance who had drifted after the bakery's investor shift, caught her gaze. She was laughing with others, but her eyes flicked toward Mia and Amanda briefly, an unreadable expression shadowing her face. What was she hiding? And was she the key to uncovering the heart of this betrayal? There was so much left to discover. Mia couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. The vibrant colors of the festival blared around her, yet the laughter felt distant, muffled by the tension that hung in the air. Amanda tapped her shoulder, breaking her concentration. Let us grab a bite. We'll figure things out, she urged, trying to ease the weight of uncertainty hanging over them. Yeah, you're right, Mia replied absent-mindedly, her eyes still glued to Lauren. The way Lauren laughed and whispered with her group, as if nothing was wrong, intensified Mia's suspicion. The two friends wove through clusters of festival-goers, stopping at a stand where the vendor poured hot chocolate into styrofoam cups. The rich aroma swirled under Mia's nose, grounding her momentarily. She took a deep breath, savoring the warmth. Maybe we should talk to Lauren, Amanda suggested, her voice steady, yet curious. Mia hesitated. What if she knows something? But what if she doesn't? Then we'll get a reading on her, see where her loyalties lie. If she's in the loop, we can't ignore it, Amanda said, her determination rekindling Mia's hope. Mia nodded slowly. You're right. We can't sit back and let this happen. After grabbing their drinks, they made their way toward Lauren, who was now surrounded by laughter and festive music. Mia's heart raced as they approached. She felt exposed yet determined. Hey, Lauren. Can we join you? Mia called out, forcing a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Lauren turned, her expression slightly shifting as her gaze landed on Mia. Of course. I was just telling everyone about how I helped set up the new display at the bakery. You should see it. The laughter continued, but Mia picked up on an edge in Lauren's voice. We heard some whispers about the bakery. Things have been complicated, she said carefully, testing the waters. There was a moment of silence, the noise around them fading just slightly. Lauren's smile faltered for a split second, replaced with uncertainty. Complicated is an understatement. But I'd rather not dwell on that, she replied too quickly, sipping her drink while avoiding eye contact. Amanda raised an eyebrow, reading the moment. Complicated? Are you worried about the bakery? About what has been said? Mia held her breath, waiting for a shift in the atmosphere, something more than just surface-level cheerfulness. Lauren shifted, her nervousness palpable. It's just some people have been saying things. They think it's risky to be involved, like there's something lurking underneath. Like what? Mia pressed, her voice now sharper, more urgent. The crowd around them seemed to fade as tension solidified into an intimate moment. Not here, it's not safe. Mia felt a wave of frustration sweep over her. You know something, Lauren. We need you to trust us. Jacob's life is at stake here. Suddenly a child's laughter rang bright amidst the chatter, pulling Mia's attention toward a nearby game booth. It reminded her of the innocence they were trying to protect. Listen, we're not trying to expose anything you want to hide, but we need to know. Can you meet us later? Lauren glanced down the street, biting her lip, weighing her options. Finally, she looked back at Mia. Okay. Let us meet by the old oak tree, after the fireworks. I might have some information, but you have to promise, no one else can know. Mia nodded, relief washing over her, a silent promise between them. As the festival lights dimmed and the first fireworks erupted above a glittering burst against the deepening night sky, Mia felt a renewed sense of purpose stir within her. Ready to face this? Amanda asked, her voice laced with resolve. Mia smiled, although it was tinged with uncertainty. Yeah, but it's just the beginning. They stepped away from the group, hearts pounding, knowing they were diving headfirst into the swirling chaos of secrets. As the sounds of celebration echoed around her, Mia couldn't help but wonder, with the fireworks lighting up the night sky, what other truths would illuminate their path? And could they withstand the blast? Mia and Amanda stood on the outskirts of the crowd, watching the vibrant fireworks streak across the night sky. Each explosion filled the air with bursts of color, but Mia's mind was consumed by dark thoughts. The pretty lights weren't enough to drown out the nagging apprehension twisting in her stomach. Are you okay? Amanda asked, her voice cutting through Mia's haze. Just thinking about the meeting. Mia glanced at the old oak tree, its silhouette casting long shadows against the glow of the festival. It felt like a portal to uncertainty. What if Lauren is in deeper than we realize? Then we handle it together. We always do. Amanda's reassurance was a lifeline, but the look in her eyes told Mia they shared the same concern. They stepped back into the crowd, the music rising again, but Mia felt more like an outsider than ever before. Sipping her still warm hot chocolate, she scanned the faces around her. She was still searching for answers when she spotted a figure lurking at the edge of the festival lights. A man, unfamiliar but familiar enough to spark her anxiety. His eyes flicked toward Lauren, then back to the ground, as if he were waiting. Waiting for what? Who is that? Mia asked, pointing discreetly. Amanda followed her gaze, squinting slightly. I don't know, but he looks like he's got a mission. The man shifted, slipping into the shadows as another firework exploded above, momentarily illuminating his features. Mia took a step forward, her heart hammering more fiercely than the fireworks. Wait, Mia. We shouldn't, but she was already moving, drawn by a mix of fear and instinct. She needed to know. Slipping away from the crowd, she headed toward the man, her heart pounding louder than the drumming music behind her. He didn't notice her at first, too focused on the distant laughter of Lauren's group. But when he turned, their eyes met a silent acknowledgement of a tension that hung between them. What do you want with her? Mia demanded, her voice steady despite the uncertainty clawing at her insides. The man smirked, but there was no warmth in it. You're brave, I'll give you that. But this is bigger than you think. Mia felt a rush of adrenaline. Bigger than Jacob's life being at stake. Explain. He hesitated, then his expression softened just a fraction. Look, I'm not your enemy. But if you want the truth, you have to be careful about what you dig for. You don't know who's really pulling the strings. As he stepped back into the shadows, Mia thought of the danger lurking around them. Trust was a fragile thing. Her mind raced. Was Lauren in danger? Was she unknowingly involved in something dangerous? Mia. Amanda's voice broke through her thought. What are you doing? Come back. Mia turned, but the man had vanished, swallowed by the night and the sounds of the festival. I need to know more. He knows something. Amanda looked at her, urgency washing over her features. We need Lauren first. If she really does have information, that's where we have to start. They hurried back toward the oak tree, each step quickening with the rhythm of the fireworks. Mia could hardly breathe. How much trouble were they really in? As they reached the tree, the first wave of fireworks exploded, casting a colorful glow over them. But all Mia could think of was the man's warning. Let us make sure we get all the answers tonight, Mia breathed, a mix of determination and fear swirling inside her. They waited, the excitement of the festival around them dimming in comparison to what lay ahead. The stakes were rising, and they were right in the center of it all. But as the final fireworks lit up the sky, Mia couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning of a much darker truth waiting to unfold. Would they be ready to face it? Mia leaned against the thick trunk of the oak tree, her heart racing as she scanned the crowd for Lauren. The colorful explosions above flickered in her eyes, blurring the lines between fear and urgency. Did you see where she went? Amanda asked, looking around, her voice barely louder than the crackle of fireworks. No, Mia replied, anxiety tightening in her chest. But we need to find her. Now. They moved through the crowd, weaving past families and friends who were lost in the joy of the festival, laughter ringing through the air. But Mia felt like they were in a different world, one where danger lurked behind every smile. Maybe she went to grab food or something, Amanda suggested, trying to keep the mood light, but Mia wasn't buying it. No. I don't feel right. That guy, he was watching her. It's like he knows something. Amanda caught Mia's gaze. We can't panic. Let us just check the food stalls. They hurried across the fairgrounds, passing balloons and cotton candy stands until they spotted Lauren. She was standing by a hot dog cart, animatedly chatting with another friend from school. Relief washed over Mia, but it faded quickly as she noticed the man's warning echoing in her mind. Lauren. Mia called, hurrying toward her. Hey. You guys. Lauren waved, but her smile faltered when she saw the urgency etched on Mia's face. What's wrong? We need to talk. It's important, Mia said, catching her breath. Okay, what's up? Lauren asked, her brow furrowed in confusion. Mia pulled her closer so they could speak more privately, the booming fireworks muffling their voices. We saw someone watching you. A man. I think he is connected to everything. Lauren's eyes widened. What? Why didn't you say something sooner? I just found out, Mia insisted. But he said it's bigger than we think. You're in danger, Lauren. We need to figure this out together. Danger? The word hung in the air like the smoke from the fireworks, thick and palpable. Mia, what are you talking about? Before Mia could respond, a loud crack followed a burst of light. The fireworks crescendoed, sending a shockwave through the crowd and prompting a collective cheer. But Mia and Amanda shared a look that spoke of concern and urgency. They couldn't ignore the risk lurking in the shadows. Let us get somewhere quiet, Amanda suggested, glancing around the bustling festival. We'll fill you in. As they headed toward the edge of the fairgrounds, a feeling of foreboding crept in. They weren't just three friends trying to enjoy the festival anymore, they were entangled in something much darker. The music played on, but all Mia could hear was a heartbeat, hers, quickening with every step. They reached a quieter corner, surrounded by the towering oak trees. Under the canopy of stars, Mia finally took a deep breath. "We don't know everything, but we think you might be involved in something dangerous. Something connected to Jacob." For a moment, Lauren stood silent, searching for the right words. "Jacob? What do you mean?" "Just, promise you'll listen before you react," Mia urged, her voice steady. "There's a man who knows something, and he looked at you like you hold the key. We need information, Lauren." Just as she spoke, there was a commotion nearby. A loud shout cut through the night, causing the three of them to tense. Mia's instincts kicked in, her breath hitching. "Did you hear that?" she whispered, eyes darting toward the disturbance. Maybe it's just the festival Amanda started, but she trailed off, unease etched on her face. Mia stepped closer to Lauren and Amanda, their group tightening as the thrill of the festival faded. The night felt darker now, the air heavy with uncertainty. "Stay close," she warned, her pulse racing. "What if it's him?" Lauren whispered, glancing over her shoulder. Quietly, they moved toward the source of the noise, hearts pounding in sync. Mia couldn't shake the feeling that whatever awaited them wouldn't just change their night, it could alter everything they thought they understood about the threats hiding in plain sight. Was the truth worth the risk that lay just ahead? Mia's heart thudded hard against her ribcage as she led the way through the throngs of festival-goers, their laughter a stark contrast to the tension that twisted in her stomach. Each shout caused her to jump, her nerves fraying with every step. The noise seemed to draw closer, a chaotic symphony of excitement shadowed by an underlying dread. They approached a small group gathered near a food stall, voices raised in shock. A man was gesturing wildly, clearly upset. Mia cast a worried look back to Lauren and Amanda, urging them to stay close. "It might be connected. Let us listen," she whispered. As they edged closer, anxious curiosity bubbling within her, she caught snippets of the conversation. "He just right out of nowhere took off like a bullet." The man's voice cracked. "What happened?" someone else asked. "No one knows," he said, eyes wide as he scanned the crowd. "Some guy grabbed a girl's bag and ran. It was like he knew what he was doing." Mia froze, dread pooling in her gut. She exchanged glances with Amanda, who looked alarmed. "Do you think it could be Mia?" Lauren's voice pulled her back, urgent and edged with fear. "What if it's the same guy who was watching me? What if he comes back?" "Let us get out of here," Mia said quickly. They needed a plan, not distractions. She took Lauren's hand, trying to keep her grounded, taking comfort in the warmth of their clasped fingers. They moved away from the crowd, finding refuge behind the oak tree they'd just left. The festival felt so vibrant, yet here, behind the thick bark, the sounds became muffled and far away. It felt safer somehow. "Okay," Mia said, her voice low but firm. "We have to be smart about this. If this guy is connected to Jacob, then we have to figure out what that means for you, Lauren. What do you know?" Lauren's brow furrowed, her voice trembling as if battling against memories. "Jacob, he was obsessed with something. Some secret. He said it was bigger than anyone could imagine. But I didn't." She paused, the weight of her words hanging heavy in the air. "I didn't think it was real. I thought he was just trying to sound cool." Amanda stepped closer, her own face tight with concern. "We have to dig deeper. If he was obsessed, maybe that means he got too close to something dangerous. And if he gave you the wrong idea, or if this guy knows something about Jacob." A metallic taste flooded Mia's mouth, the reality of their situation dawning on her. "What if this isn't just about you? What if they're after all of us?" In the hushed darkness, the stars seemed to dim, a blanket of foreboding hovering overhead. Suddenly, a loud cheer erupted from the festival, snapping Mia out of her spiraling thoughts. We have to move now, she urged. Let us find a safe place to talk more. I don't want us caught here among all these people if something goes wrong. Nods of agreement passed between them, their shared resolve solidifying in that moment of quiet camaraderie. Together, they slipped from the shadows of the oak tree and stepped back toward the fairgrounds, now vibrant with revelry but echoing a sense of danger that permeated the air. Just then, a shrill scream pierced through the laughter, sending cold chills down Mia's spine. She turned, heart racing, as a figure darted past them, shrouded in the mask of festival merriment. Is that him? Lauren gasped, her eyes wide with terror. Mia knew they had to make a choice. Should they follow, or would they be better off escaping while they could? The answer to their safety hung in the balance, and with it, the mystery that could unravel everything. With every heartbeat, a new layer of fear wrapped around them. What if the festival turned from bright to dark in an instant? And as they stood there, frozen, that question loomed larger with every passing second. Would they dare to chase after the truth, even if it meant facing their greatest fears? Mia stood there, pulse racing, her eyes glued to the swirling crowd of festival-goers. The thrill of the fireworks felt like a facade for the chaos unraveling beneath their feet. She knew they had to make a choice: confront the danger or turn their backs on the heart of the problem. I can't let anything happen to Jacob, she muttered, determination igniting within her. Then we follow, Amanda agreed, grim resolve lining her features. No. Lauren's voice trembled. What if he really is dangerous? He could lead us to the truth, Mia insisted, glancing between her friends. If he knows something about Jacob, we have to confront it. I won't let fear dictate our actions. From the shadows, Mia spotted the mysterious man again, his figure half hidden against the gleaming lights of the festival booth. Without a second thought, she took off, adrenaline propelling her forward. Mia, wait. Amanda's plea fell behind, but there was no stopping now. Mia's feet propelled her through the merry chaos of the festival, skirted tables piled high with food, laughter ringing and music soaring. She barely registered the sights, her heart on a singular mission: catch that man, uncover the truth, and protect Jacob. As she neared the edge of the festival, she could see him glance back, eyes wide before bolting around a corner. This way! She shouted, her voice slicing through the merriment. Amanda and Lauren were hot on her heels. They rounded the corner, only to find an alleyway bordering the festival grounds. The bright lights faded, leaving them in dim shadows. Mia's breath caught in her throat. Where had he gone? Do we just wait here? Lauren asked, glancing nervously into the darkness. Before Mia could respond, the sounds of scuffling broke the silence, echoing off the brick walls. This way. Amanda motioned, and they pressed forward cautiously. Peering around the corner, Mia caught sight of the man again, struggling with another figure, a flash of blonde hair, and as he swung a hard punch, Mia realized who it was. Lauren. Is that Jake? Lauren cried, worry spilling from her voice. Mia. Come on. Amanda urged, pulling her closer to the scene. It was chaos. The man pushed Jake against the wall, but Jake was fighting back with all his strength, desperation etched onto his face. He had stumbled into something he never expected, something dangerous. Stop it. Let him go. Mia shouted, her heart racing. The man turned briefly, eyes wide, then shoved Jake harder against the wall. You're meddling where you don't belong. Stop. Cried Mia, hurtling into the alley. Leave him alone. The scene twisted. Suddenly, Mia felt the weight of it all on her shoulders. She had to intervene, even if it meant confronting the chaos head-on. Do you know how far you've gone? Jake spat, his voice strained. They'll find out. The phrase hung in the air like a promise of disaster. Mia surged forward, adrenaline pushing her to step between them. What is going on? Who are you? The man's expression twisted, a mix of recognition and annoyance. You really shouldn't be here, he snapped. Enough. Amanda stepped forward, sensing the tension. What does this have to do with Jacob? The moment stretched, silence filling the air as the man sized them all up. Finally, a small, self-satisfied smirk cracked his facade. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Then enlighten us, Mia demanded, her heart pounding. Tell us, what are you planning? Planning? He laughed, but the sound was bitter. This place is just the beginning. You think it's filled with history? You're all too wrapped up in warm memories to see what it really is. Shut up. Lauren yelled, stepping closer, passion igniting her words. You don't know anything about our history. A throaty chuckle escaped the man, his gaze darting to Jake, who breathed heavily, caught between fear and rebellion. You think you can play protector? The man taunted. You're just kids sitting on the sidelines of a game way above your pay grade. Tell us what you want, Mia pleaded, tears pooling behind her eyes. You know nothing of what we've built here. Nothing of what it means to us. A flicker flashed in his eyes as he crossed his arms. You've really no idea what's at stake. You're fighting for something that's already in the process of becoming obsolete. Mountain View Suites. Laughable. Keep your hands off him, Mia warned, stepping closer to Jake, whose face twisted in pain. You have no power here. As if jolted by her words, something flickered in the man's eyes, a shadow of uncertainty. For a brief moment, he hesitated. Be careful what you wish for, Parker. You've chosen the wrong side. Mia, Jake gasped, his voice barely holding. Don't let him win. That surge of fierceness sparked anew within Mia. She could feel it pulsing in her veins, pushing back against the noise of fear clustering around them. No more running. No more hiding. It was time to stand their ground. Enough of this. Mia shouted, voice echoing against the brick. We'll fight for what matters. You can't erase our history. You can't intimidate us anymore. The man's sneer faltered, and for the first time, he looked uncertain. You don't know the truth, he growled quietly, but his anger wavered. You're playing with fire. Then you better watch us burn brighter, Mia shot back defiantly. But before more could be said, lights flooded the alleyway, shining a spotlight on them, shattering the heaviness cloaking the encounter. Suddenly, there were shouts and the scuff of shoes on pavement. Festival staff had entered the fray, alerted by the commotion. Mia felt the flood of chaos shift, momentarily suffocating her. Run! Jake warned suddenly as the man's face twisted in fury. Go! Amanda shouted, pulling Lauren and Mia back toward the festival as the crowd swelled and the bright lights danced above them. Mia's heart raced as they sprinted away from the confrontation, turmoil clouding her thoughts. It was no longer just about pies or festivals, it was about a secret that was tearing through their lives, a danger that threatened to tear apart everything they cared for. Their breathing was heavy, hearts pounding, eyes wide with a mix of exhilaration and fear. What just happened? Lauren gasped between breaths. Mia, he knew something, Jake panted, determination etched across his face. We'll uncover it, Mia promised, glancing back towards the shadowy alley, where danger had just made itself known in the worst way. Together, we will fight to protect our family and our legacy. We will not let fear rule us. As the festival's laughter and lights faded into a vibrant blur, Mia felt the burden rise, and within it, a flicker of hope ignited. They were on the path to reclaiming not just their bakery, but their lives. And together, with every step they took, they would unearth the truth, no matter how dark it might be. This was their moment. And the world would soon know the power of their resilience, united in purpose, love, and an unwavering spirit. With hope swelling in their hearts, they pressed forward, ready to face whatever came next. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. You need to subscribe now. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, it makes a difference. Comment your reactions and feelings about the ending, and share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share. Only true fans understand how important it is to support the channel through these actions.